this is an attack on the American people. If you're an American citizen, it doesn't matter how you feel politically, this is an attack on you. This is an attack on our sovereignty. You can't just walk in here at your own leisure. Doesn't matter if you're a refugee or asylum seeker or what the hell ever. I mean, we should have 50 cals and landmines lining the border and using them. That would stop the problem.
That man wants to use weapons of war and deadly force to stop migrants from crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. The extremist, identified on TikTok as Phil McCain, calls the migrant issue an invasion. He says there are millions of people like him who are ready to head to the border and defend it themselves. Well, a few people have already gone down there. A right-wing trucker caravan showed up in Eagle Pass, Texas. Their mission is to try and block the undocumented migrants and turn people around, possibly using force. Several residents of Eagle Pass who held a rally against hate said the caravan had turned the peaceful town into a dangerous one.
I've always felt very safe here. So you'd say it's a good place to raise your children. Today, downtown was the first day that I felt unsafe just walking down the street in broad daylight.
The data actually backs that up. If you look at the border towns in California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, they have a far lower crime rate than most major U.S. cities. So the right-wing claim that migrants are committing crimes and causing mayhem is false. Several members of the People's Caravan, as it is called, said they were surprised to discover how orderly and peaceful the migrants are, and that what caravan members saw was not the chaotic invasion that had been described in conservative media. There's been another disappointment for some folks in the caravan as well. They said many of the organizers put the caravan together to make money and take advantage of ordinary Americans, and not because the organizers really care about the border or want to solve illegal immigration. This woman's rant is going viral.
I was in the People's Convoy, and what a disappointment that ended up being. What a disappointment to find out that these people that you were with, they weren't like you. They didn't care about the country. They were a bunch of grifting, motherfucking live streamers that wanted to make money off of the people in America who were hardworking and sending their money, little old ladies, old men, people who had to wait for their paychecks so they could give a little bit of money to help people drive around and shout freedom and fight for freedom. And to find out that it was really for nothing. To find out that the people involved, a lot of the people involved that are involved in this convoy right here were really bad people. They were bad people who did not care about the causes that they joined. They used them for their own profit.
Profiteers on the far right. Well, that will not strike some Americans as a surprise. After all, look at the grift that Donald Trump and his family engaged in through the presidency and MAGA. Still, the realization that right-wing extremists care more about money than anything else, and that the border crisis is not what conservative media has depicted, well, that's understandably shocked some ordinary conservative Americans. And to be clear, for all of the nutcases who want to set up landmines and use machine guns to kill migrants crossing the border, there are plenty of conservatives who are not violent. They have simply been terribly misled, and they are discovering that so much of the right-wing rhetoric is absolute crap. It's kind of like when members of a cult wake up from their stupor to reality and see that the group they are part of, while it initially made them feel good, is insane. And the Kool-Aid being passed around is dangerous. In this case, the right-wing Kool-Aid could kill peaceful human beings and drain your bank account. There is a great temptation to mock and ridicule people on the far right, but we would all be better served to show some compassion, help folks see reality, and provide a path for far-right lunatics to leave the cult and regain their sanity. These are tough times, even for people who have been horribly misled. By the way, in Oklahoma, some law enforcement officers have begun to turn on each other.
The sheriff, you need to back up out of my face, sir.
You have no authority.
You're not going to tell me what to do, my. You're not going to get in my sheriff's face, just like you told me. Mother.
Your hands off me, man.
Back up, John.
Pull him back.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.